Hello friends, welcome in the lecture series of nuclear chemistry. In nuclear chemistry, there are 4 topics in our syllabus. First topic is the radioactivity. Second topic that we have to study here is the elements of radiation chemistry. Elements of radiation chemistry. Third topic is the nuclear fission that we have to study. Nuclear fission is the third topic. Fission, and fourth topic is the applications of radioactivity that we have to study here. Applications of radioactivity. These are the 4 topics, out of which we have to start with the second topic, that is elements of radiation chemistry. So let's start with the elements of radiation chemistry. What we have to study in the elements of radiation chemistry? In elements of radiation, we have to study certain factors such as in first topic we saw the nuclear radiations, nuclear particles. Which are they? Alpha is the nuclear particle, beta minus is the nuclear particle, beta plus is the nuclear particle. Again, gamma is the nuclear radiations. So these are radiations, particles, and when they passes through any matter, because they have very high energy, so because of their high energy, when they pass through any matter, they make some physical changes, some chemical changes in that particular substance, and that changes, what type of changes they are in effect when these radiation passes through any matter. So we have to study those effects in this topic, that is elements of radiation. So first we have to study the first topic is elements of radiation chemistry. We have to study is the interaction of radiations with matter. What type of interactions are there that we have to study? Interaction of radiation with matter. Interaction of radiation with matter. Second, in which interaction of gamma radiations. Second, in which we have to study interaction of gamma radiations with matter. When gamma radiations passes through the matter, what type of interactions are there that we have to study here in the second topic. Third, the units for measuring radiation absorption. Absorption of radiation, when they passes through any matter, the absorption of radiation is there, and that absorption is measured by using some units. So those units that we have to study here, Gray, rads, we will see one by one when the topic comes. So units of radiation absorption that we have to study here. Then one concept is that radiation dosimetry that we have to study here. Radiation dosimetry in this topic. And the last topic that we have to study here, the water radiolysis. Water radiolysis and radiolysis some other aqueous solutions, non-aqueous solutions. Water radiolysis and other non-aqueous solutions. So these are the topics that we have to study in elements of radiation chemistry. So elements of radiation chemistry is your second topic, in which we have to study the interaction of radiations, second interaction of gamma radiations with matter, the units for measuring radiation absorption, third radiation dosimetry, and fifth topic that is water radiolysis and the radiolysis of some other aqueous solution, non-aqueous solutions. So these are the topics. So let's first start with the interaction of radiations, in which what we have to study interaction of radiation. In this topic we have to study interaction of radiations. So interaction of radiations start with the primary interaction. So first we have to study the primary interaction of radiation. So primary interaction we have to study. Then second we have to study due to these primary radiations or the primary effects due to these radiations, there forms some kinds of terms, that is quartz, tracks, delta ray tracks, So these are some terms that we have to study in this interaction of radiations with matter. Third, we have to study the one most important term, that is LED, that is linear energy transfer, that we have to study here. Fourth is the Bethes notation or Bethes equation for LED. One equation derived by coined by both Bethe. So alongside this. So Bethy's equation for LED linear energy transfer that we have to study here. Then another concept regarding this elements of radiation chemistry, interaction of these radiations, and that we have studied Bremsstrahlung is the concept associated with the interaction of radiations with matter, and the next concept we have to study is the Cherenkov radiation. Cherenkov radiation. So these are the concepts that we have to study in first topic, that is interaction of radiations with matter. Now in this interaction, let's first start with the primary interaction. What are the primary interaction of these radiations when they are passes through any matter? So primary interaction we have to study first. Primary interaction or primary interaction with these radiations or particles. So primary interaction, basically these are three types of primary interaction. These are five types we have to study. First is the primary interaction. So basically three types of primary interactions are there. So primary interactions are see here, excitation, when energy transferred by this particle or this radiation is lowest, then excitation occurs. Then if more energy is there, then ionization occurs, and if more energy is there, then the bond undergoes rupture and there is a formation of radicals. So radical formation. So these are the three primary events that we have to study in the interaction of radiation. Okay. So excitation, ionization, and radical formation. So these are three basic concepts or three basic interaction of these radiations with matter. So let's see the excitation. Let's take an example of water molecule. When this water molecule, suppose that it interacts with electron of high energy. So when this electron interact with this, the energy from this electron, some of the energy absorbed by this water molecule, and it goes to excited state. So we coin it by using star. So H2O star. So what is this? This is actual the excited species. Excited species. It's new sometime for in excited state and then again come to ground state. But we have to just see. And now this electron remains with some energy or partial energy, because some energy is transferred to this water molecule and it gets excited. So the electron is a particle, so that it remains as it is after transferring some amount of energy. Suppose that we interact this water molecule with purely radiation, that is gamma radiations. So radiation is wholly absorbed and the excited species is there, because it is radiation, so it is wholly absorbed. It is not a particle, so that it can strike with this water molecule and again reflected with some energy. So this is not possible with radiation. So radiation wholly absorbed, and it can be the species which is excited now. So this is excitation. This is first process. When energy is low, then excitation is possible here. So see, second first excitation is there. Second, if energy is more than this, then there will be ionization. So see the ionization process. Same example we are taking here, water molecule. Again electron with some higher energy than this one. So energy higher than this one, if we take a here, then excitation, one of the ionization. So one of the electron again removed from this water molecule. So ion formed here, H2O plus electron removed. So here formation of two electrons. Formation of two electrons. So it is ionization process, because ion form in this process. So this is ionization process. Second, when we can interact with purely ion, that is gamma radiations. Purely radiations, that is gamma radiations. So that electron removed from this. So ion formation plus minus charge is there. So ion formation is there, and this ion formation gives to ionized species. So this is ionization. So second is the ionization. Excitation is there. Second is ionization, and now radical formation. See, more energy is there, then there will be rupture of bond. So such as C water molecule, electron with again higher energy than this one. Again higher energy than the second one, that is ionization. So electron. So now in this case, the bond between water molecule, we know that such type of bonding is there, H-OH. So energy absorbed by this bond and that homolytically break out into the radicals. So H radical and OH radical is there. OH radical, H radical and OH radical, and electron remains with recoil energy, remaining energy is there. And similarly, when we interact with purely radiation, electromagnetic radiation, that is gamma radiation, then radical fall, but no remaining particle or radiation is there because it is wholly absorbed, and we get the pure radicals. So this is radical formation. So these are primary events where when these radiations or these particles, these nuclear particles, when interact with the matter, when they pass through it, they make some changes. These changes are the primary events we show in primary events. These are excitation, ionization, and radical formation. So these are three ways in which ionized species are there, excited species are there, and radical species are also there. So first primary interaction we have studied here, in which excitation, ionization, and radical formation took place. So now see, second subterms that we have to study is the track, spurs, and delta ray tracks. Track, spurs, and delta ray tracks. So what are these tracks, spurs, and delta ray tracks? Suppose that beta minus particle, these particles moving through this matter. Suppose that it is an air through which these the beta minus particle moving through. When these beta minus particle moving through this matter, such as air is a matter where they are moving through this matter, then the first is what? It is primary event which occurs. What the primary events? In primary events, there is excited species form, another ionized species form, and radical species form. So this is the way in which these particles or these radiation moves, such as gamma is also moving in some way. So this is the way in which these radiation moves. This is the way in which beta particle moves. This is the way in which alpha particle moves. So they move in a particular way, either zigzag or either a straight way. So they have their different ways, and that ways are known as tracks of radiation or tracks of particle. Tracks means what? It's a way or it's a path chosen by these radiations, these particles, to move along, and when they move along their path, we say tracks. And when these particles or these radiations move along their path, they create a species such as excited species, ionized species, and radical species. So there is a cluster of these species formed along the path of these radiations. Along the tracks of these radiations, there is a formation of cluster or clouds of these species. Which are these species? Active species. Clusters of active species. Which are active species? The term active used here for excited species, ionized species, or radical species. Excited species, ionized species, or radical species. So cluster of these species form, and this cluster is collectively known as spurs. Cluster of active species is known as spurs. So spurs are what? These are the cluster of active species formed by the interaction of these radiation, nuclear radiations or particle, when they move along their path. So when they are moved along their path, they form the cluster of. So not only one cluster. So there are similar another clusters are there. So these clusters are formed along their path, and these clusters are known as spurs. These clusters are known as spurs. Now these are the clusters which form spurs. So they are nearly spherical in their size. So they have spur diameter. We say also mean size of spur. So mean size. Again, how many active species? That is number of active species. Nearly about 4 to 5 number of active species are formed there. So number of active species active species in the spur. Again, there is a distance between these spurs. One spur formed, another spur. So interspur distance, we call it interspur distance. Interspur distance. So all these three factors, that is spur diameter, mean size of the spurs, number of active species in the spurs, and interspur distance. So all these factors depends on which radiations we are using. That is nature of radiation. Nature of radiation, also the rate at which nature, also the energy of radiation, how much energy it has, so that it can transfer that energy, and rate at which it transfers energy. Rate at which it transfers energy, and it depends on that rate. Okay, so this is about the terms tracks, spurs, and delta ray track. Let's see the delta ray track. What is that? But before that, see the excited space when this particle, nuclear particle, moves along their path. These paths are known as tracks of these species or tracks of these radiations. All along their path, they form cluster of active species. Cluster of active species such as excited species, ionized species, and radical species. So cluster of active species is known as spurs. So the mean size of the spurs, that is spur diameter, number of active species in the spurs, and also interspur distance between the two spurs. So interspur distance, all these factors depends on nature of radiation, which radiation, its energy, and rate at which it loses energy to the surrounding particles, or loses energy to the substance through which they pass. So this is about nature, energy, rate at which transfer energy. So all these factors decide these three factors: spur diameter, number of active species, and interspur distance. So along their path, they also interact with electron form, because as we saw, such as when it interact with H2O, electron interact, there is formation of active species, and also electron is there. So this electron is a primary electron, this is secondary electron form. So this is secondary electron. So secondary electron. Primary electron what form? Primary electron forms excited species as well as ionized species and also radical species. It forms these species, but when the secondary electron therefore, when secondary electron has enough energy, so secondary electron here form in which secondary electron, if this secondary electron has more energy, then it branch off from primary track. It leaves primary track, it branch off from primary track and form its own track and spurs. So it moves in this way and form another cluster of active species on its own track. So secondary electron, when secondary electron has enough energy so that it branch off from primary track and form its own track and spurs. So this track, this secondary track, is known as delta ray track. This secondary track is known as delta ray track. So this is about this second, that is primary interaction. In primary interaction, three species are formed, that is excited species, more energy is there, then ionized species, again more energy is there, then bond rupture occurs and radical species form. So these are primary events due to this radiation. Second, tracks percent delta ray track. Track means what? It is the nuclear radiation, nuclear particle which moves along, chooses some path, and that path is known as tracks of these radiations, these particles. All along their path, they form a cluster of active species, such as excited, ionized, and radical species. So cluster is known as spurs. That spurs, interspur distance, mean size of the spurs is also depends on the energy of particle, which particle use, and how much energy it transfer, that is rate at which they transfer energy to the surroundings. So this is the spurs, and Third is when the secondary electron has enough energy. Secondary electron has enough energy so that it branch off from primary track and form its own tracks and spurs. And that secondary track is known as delta ray track. One interesting thing about the alpha particle. Alpha particle has very high energy. Very high energy. Alpha particle has very high energy. So due to this high energy, what happens? This alpha particle, due to very high energy, this alpha particle, their spurs almost overlap. The spurs fall along the track of alpha particle. Because of its high energy, the spurs almost overlap in each other. So it looks like column. So that's why the tracks formed or the tracks formed by the alpha particle is known as columnar ionization here. So columnar ionization forms with almost these spurs overlapping each other because of higher energy of alpha particle. So these are different for different particles, different radiations, because their energy is different, their rate of decrease of energy or rate of losing energy to the surrounding is different. So due to all these factors, they have their different spurs, interspur distance and different tracks. So this is about second interactions, primary interaction, and these are tracks, spurs and delta ray tracks. Third property of these radiations, interactions of radiations that we have to study is the LET, linear energy transfer, that will be continued in the next lecture. Thank you.